Well, good morning. It's always good to be with you. To imagine that I'm with a number of friends, some I know and some I don't know, beginning our day in a study of the Psalms. Today we turn to Psalm 74. Psalm 74 is not short, it is a prayer. And it's a prayer during a hard time where the person is saying, God, why have you rejected us forever? Why does your anger smolder against the sheep of your pasture? The psalmist then talks about a time of destruction of God's temple. You see that in verses 4 through 8. They smashed all the carved paneling with their axes and hatchets. They burned your sanctuary to the ground. They defiled the dwelling place of your name. That never happened during the time of David or Solomon. It actually did happen in the year 586 BC when the Babylonians besieged Jerusalem. So this is thought to either be a prophetic psalm by the Asaph that we've gotten to know in the Psalms, or a later Asaph who experienced that destruction in 586. But in any case, it is describing either prophetically or reflectively a time when the things of God are being defiled by the enemies of God, where God's people are not feeling protected. And since it's a prayer, it's a pattern for us. And what happens is the person here, Asaph, says, this is what's happening, God. Your people are being acted against by their enemies. And we are not hearing from you. Verse 9, we are given no signs from God. No prophets are left, and none of us knows how long this will be. So people are feeling like, where is God? As in many of the Psalms, there's a hinge point that begins with that key word but in verse 12. But God is my king from long ago. He brings salvation on the earth. Then beginning in verse 13, the psalmist recounts the acts of God. It was you who split open the sea by your power. The day is yours, and yours also the night. You established the sun and the moon. So the psalmist is remembering God's power in the past and then calling on him to help us in the present. And that's what I want us to learn today. Verse 22, rise up, O God, and defend your cause. Remember how fools mock you all day long. Do not ignore the clamor of your adversaries, the uproar of your enemies, which rises continually. So the simple lesson of this psalm is that when we're in a hard time, when we're in trouble, the way to pray a prayer of faith is to say, God, I remember when you acted on my behalf. Please act again. And that informs our prayers to say, God, I remember when you did this, and I remember how powerful you are, acted how you were in that time, and so I'm counting on your power again. And we can really make that claim on God. Not that he has to do it, but we're saying we know the kind of God you are. So today, let's do that. When you finish this devotional, just take a moment and think about something you really believe you need from God. Some help from him, some deliverance, a person you're praying for, a situation you're in that feels desperate or out of control. And say, God, I remember when you, and then fill in the blank, and then say, please act in this current situation, and then name it before him. Did you get that? I remember when you blank, so please act in this situation. A simple prayer, but one that I think God delights to hear, that is reflective of what we see here in Psalm 74. Once again, great to start the day with you. God bless you.